Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Launch Credit Union Home Buying and Real Estate webinar. We're very happy that you're able to join us tonight. We hope to host these seminars in person soon, but until then, we're happy to be able to share this great information with you all virtually. A few housekeeping things. All attendees are muted. However, we will be fielding questions throughout the webinar, so please be sure to type your questions into the chat box, and it's a feature on your screen. Just a reminder, please do not include any personal information such as your account number or social security numbers in the question box. I would like to take a moment to introduce our presenters. My name is Carly Mixon. I am the Senior Digital Marketing Specialist here at Launch. We also have Emily Thornburg from the marketing team, who is working behind the scenes and notifying us of any questions that come in. Also from Launch, we are joined by Jen Weiss, who is our VP of Real Estate Lending, and Tiffany Johnson, who is our Senior Direct Home Loan Specialist. We also have a few of our HomeAdvantage Realtor partners, Lee Goldberg and Barbara Remington, who are here to discuss the current real estate market and a few do's and don'ts for those looking to buy or sell their home. Now that you know who our presenters are, let's get started with our first poll. So if you could take a moment, there's a poll on your screen asking if you are currently a Launch member. Once you make your selection, if you could just hit the submit button. And we'll give you about 30 seconds here, 10 more seconds. Okay, so it looks like 100% of you are currently Launch members, so that's great, welcome. And we'll do a second poll. Do you currently rent, own, or other? If you could just take 30 seconds to answer this and just make sure you hit the submit button. Looks about 50-50 right now. A few more seconds to answer those polls. Okay, so it's exactly 50-50. All right, so without further ado, I will hand it over to Jen.
Thank you, Carly. What I wanted to do is just kind of go over and let you know what products we have here at Launch. Of course, we offer first mortgages, which are purchases or refinances. We have second mortgages. We also offer lot loans and manufactured homes. We have HELOCs, which are home equity lines of credit. And we've also started offering investment loans and commercial real estate. So the first thing when you're looking to probably purchase a home is you need to find out how much do you think you can afford as far as a house. So a rule of thumb is the value over 2 or 3 times your annual household income. Other things come into play. It depends on your employment history. Lenders like to see 2 to 3 years at your current job. Your credit history is huge in coming into play. How much do you have in your current savings or debts going out? And then also, how much do you have for a down payment if you're looking for a purchase? What are the benefits as far as owning a home? Main thing is it's a satisfaction of owning your home. You're not renting, you're not paying somebody else's mortgage. It's a possible savings on income tax each year, and you're earning equity on your home that you can use down the line. And then also the ability to personalize. As a renter, sometimes you can't go in and paint or do remodeling or anything like that. So as a homeowner, you can go in and do those things and the satisfaction of picking what you would like. Kind of wanted to dial down a little bit on the first mortgages. We do purchases and we do refinances. As far as the purchase, right now, the minimum down payment that we require is 3%. If you're looking to purchase a condo, the minimum would be 5% down. Investment properties is 20% down because the maximum loan to value that we do is 80%. If you currently own your home right now and you're looking to refinance and you wanted to refinance and use some of the equity and get cash out, our max loan to value is 80%. If you're just looking to refinance because you see that the rates are much lower than they were when you did your mortgage probably 3 or 4 years ago, that's a cash out refinance. The maximum loan to value on that would be 90%. One thing to always remember, if you are over 80% of loan to value of your home, PMI, that's private mortgage insurance, is required. I know sometimes when we talk, we kind of talk in lingo and we always say LTV. So LTV means the loan to value, and it's calculated by dividing the loan amount. So if you have a first mortgage and a second mortgage, you take both of them and you divide that by the value of your property. So we just kind of did a simple example for you, although, you know, there's not a lot of $100,000 houses out there, but if you're looking to purchase a house for $100,000, and we said the max loan to value that we would go on that is 80% for you, that means that you would be required to bring 20% as a down payment. So just wanted to kind of explain what LTV, loan to value, meant. Carly, if we can go ahead and change it over for the next poll question, please.
So if you could just answer if you're currently interested in purchasing a home, refinancing a home, or other. It looks like 74% say that they're interested in purchasing a home, 11% refinancing a home, and 16% listed other.
All right, perfect. Well, then that kind of goes into play what I'm talking about next. So the majority were looking to purchase. So if you're looking to purchase a home, what's the first thing you should do? First thing you should do, and your realtor is going to be asking for you to do this too, is get pre-qualified. So what that means, there's a couple ways that you can reach us to get pre-qualified at launch. You can apply online at our website. You can call our 1-800 number, which that gets you in touch with a home loan specialist right away. Or you can stop by or make an appointment at your local launch branch. You can sit down with a representative there. They will start the application and then they will forward it on to a home loan specialist who will contact you to finish up the application. The other thing that we're excited for our members, we've worked with HomeAdvantage. What that is, it's where we can register you to HomeAdvantage, where I call it Zillow on steroids because it gives you so much more than Zillow does. You can search for homes using their online MLS system. Then also, if you get referred to a HomeAdvantage agent and you work with them and you either sell or buy a home, that actual agent will give you back 20% of their commission. So as an average, we have saved our members $1,450, and that's cash back. You can use it as a check that they'll send you after your closing, or you can use it towards your closing costs. Once you are on that website, you get a listing of all the approved realtors that you can sign up with HomeAdvantage. These realtors are full-time realtors, qualified realtors. They're not people who this is their part-time job. They've been doing this for the average of 10 years. So we know that we are putting our members in good hands with these HomeAdvantage realtors. Because the average of what they're saying, a person looks at 5 to 10 homes before they find their perfect home that they're looking for. And I'm sure, as you know right now, it is a competitive market out there. It's a seller's market. So you need a strong realtor to help negotiate a contract for you and get you that home that you want. So it's a perfect time for me to go ahead and hand it over to Lee Goldberg, who handles our Brevard County, and Barbara Remington, who handles our Volusia County. Take it away,
there,
guys.
Everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara Remington, and I am broker owner of Prestige Property Shop, and I handle the Volusia County area for launch. as one of the HomeAdvantage agents. And Lee?
Hi, everybody. My name is Lee Goldberg. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I handle all of Brevard County for Launch Credit Union. And so great to be here.
It is, it is. So let's get into some of the statistics of Volusia County and Brevard, because I'm sure all of you want to know. And I'm going to go ahead and touch on Volusia County, and Lee's going to take it for Brevard. So currently, right now, we're still in a very high demand sellers market, but that doesn't mean it's not a good time to buy. It's always a good time to invest in real estate. With that said, Volusia County, as of yesterday, has 2,027 houses available for sale. And in the last 180 days, 5,464 of homes have sold in Volusia County. That pre-approval letter that you received from Launch is a very strong letter, and a lot of realtors take it very seriously when you get that letter from Launch or a credit union and we present it with your offer. So Lee, what's Brevard doing?
Yeah, so based on the sales in the past month, the market's showing zero signs of letting up. The median price for listing in August was $320,000. Sellers are getting 100% and then some for the price of their home. They're not getting below. It's also a 16% increase from over a year ago when the median price was $275,000. Look at the difference: 16% typical real estate market, 3 to 4%, sometimes 9%. Many people say it's going to crash like it did in 07, 08. Probably not going to happen. We'll continue at 16%. That most likely no, but we're going to see steady growth because everybody is moving here. We'll touch on that in a minute. Huge difference between 08 and 2021. That was a greed-driven market. This is a need-driven market. Many of our listings, we get 20 to 30 offers on the first weekend. These are not investors. These are people, real people like you who need homes. So it takes a lot to get that home and to win that contract. And you have to have the right team of people around you. And congratulations, by the way, for taking that step right now to be on this call to learn about the home buying process. Congratulations, because it might not be right now. It might be 6 months. It might be a year down the line. This is a fact-finding mission for us right now. But what we can tell you, and what Barbara can also tell you, what's happening in Volusia and Brevard, it's on fire. A lot of people are moving down. But don't let that scare you away either, because with the right team around you, we can get you the right home.
Exactly. The process of purchasing a home is very complicated, and having two strong realtors in your court, along with your credit union and yourself, you have a trifecta for owning your home. Let's talk about the process. When you meet with either Lee or myself, we're going to sit down with you. We're going to discuss your criteria, your real estate goals, how to accomplish them, and a strategy on how to achieve them. Once we do that, we're going to set you up on that auto email, and you'll start receiving houses from the MLS. And you'll start looking at houses and getting into them. And once you find that house, all the fun begins with writing a contract, getting your inspections done, waiting for the appraisal. And a lot of this usually takes anywhere between 30 to maybe 40 days, depending on timelines. So it is important that when you meet with either Lee or myself, that you have that pre-approval letter in hand at first meeting. Lee.
Yeah, guys, we want to determine what your buying power is. So remember when I said this is a fact-finding mission here today? Hopefully the next step after today, you'll say, okay, yes, let me see what my buying power is today. Let me see what we're working with. You'll get with a launch representative. They'll look at all that stuff. Us as realtors never need to know your financials and never will. They're going to tell you what your buying power is or what the obstacles in your way are, and then we're going to determine together, how do we fix it? Is it a credit issue? Is it a DTI issue? What is the issue? Is it not having cash in hand for a down payment, closing costs, or having to go above appraisal, which is happening in a lot of transactions? So we're going to help you from A to Z, whether it's now or next year. Barbara and I have both been in this program for many years, as well as the business, so we're not going anywhere. And we like working with launch members for long term, whether or not now is the time. But we're going to educate you on everything that's happening and get you to that point of obtaining that home. But we want to find out, and you need to find out, what is your buying power? And plus, we're not going to go look at homes as fast as the market is moving if you don't have that pre-approval, because you'll go see the home, you'll love the home, you'll say, Barbara, please write up this contract, but you don't have your pre-approval letter. Now you have to wait a couple of hours or a day to get it, and then they're going to have 10 offers already, and we're going to be toast. So you got to have your ducks in the row. You got to be prepared. We'll sit down with you. We'll get an idea of your wants, your needs, and we'll go out and we'll make it happen for you.
The strategy for purchasing a home in today's fast-paced market is very methodical, and it's our job to help you accomplish those goals. With that said, we are going to pass it back to Tiffany, and let's get going.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. So now I'm going to talk about the next steps after you find a house that you are looking to purchase. The first step would be you and the seller are going to sign a purchase contract. Once you have a fully executed purchase contract, you are going to send that to your home loan specialist here at launch. That's when the processing begins. The processors are going to order an appraisal. They're also going to order title work on the property that you're looking to purchase. They're also going to send you a document list of items that they're going to need. That way they can verify the stuff that is on your mortgage application. Closing time is usually approximately 30 days from the date you sign the contract, so about a month for closing. So closing costs. On top of your down payment, you're also going to have closing costs. Closing cost fees consist of lender fees and third-party fees that incur when completing a real estate transaction. Closing costs can be estimated around 3% of the loan amount. So some perks of financing with Launch is that we are a credit union. So credit union mortgages are exempt from intangible taxes. Other financial institutions, they have to collect for intangible taxes, but us as a credit union, we are exempt, so we don't collect those taxes. So that's savings for you on closing costs. Also, points. Some financial institutions charge a fee called points to lower your interest rate. Here at Launch, we offer low interest rates without charging those points. So overall, we have lower fees. Okay, so we also offer a no closing cost option. So Launch will cover up to $5,000 in closing costs. You can also pair that with HomeAdvantage, and then you save even more. And then for the people that are looking to refinance, the no closing cost option is also available on refinances. Okay, so getting your paperwork ready. So that list the processor gives you, they're going to request documents such as all income sources. So that means your W-2s, your pay stubs, your benefit letters, things like that. Also, if you own your own business, you are required to provide us with 2 years of tax returns. We need full personal and business tax returns if you own your own business. Asset accounts, so that means bank statements, 401k statements, IRAs, things like that. This is about the time that you're going to start shopping for homeowners insurance as well, because you need to bind your homeowners insurance before the property closes. Okay, so why choose Launch? We have specialized one-on-one assistance throughout the entire process. You can walk into any Launch branch and get information on your mortgages. We also have local servicing. We do not sell your mortgage. Also, we have local decision-making, which results in fast closings. Also, again, like I was saying before, we have low or no closing costs. So like we said before, if you want to apply, you can apply online, you can apply over the phone, or you can apply right in a branch. So that's the end of our presentation. I think now, if you guys have questions, we're going to take questions.
Yeah, so we have one question that is asking if someone is interested in purchasing either land or a home out of the state, do they need to be pre-qualified in the state they are moving to, their home state, or both? How does the process differ in this case?
Unfortunately, we can only lend on houses in Florida. So if it's out of state, we would not be able to lend in out of state properties. But we do have lot loans. So if you find a lot in Florida, we could finance the lot in Florida, but not out of state.
Okay, and then we have, why do I have to pay private mortgage insurance?
Okay, so private mortgage insurance, they call it PMI, is required when you put less than 20% down. You will pay this premium each month with your mortgage payment. It actually is to protect the lender if you should happen to stop making payments on your loan. So when you put anything less than 20% down, it's considered a riskier loan. So that's why you would have to pay private mortgage insurance.
Okay, and then we have someone asking, are they able to purchase a mobile home through Launch?
Yes, we do have mobile home mortgages. So a couple things, you do have to own the land underneath the mobile home. So you have to own the mobile home and the land. And you would have to put at least 20% down on the property. There are other terms, but so if that's something you're looking into purchasing, give us a call and we'll go through all the terms of purchasing a mobile home property.
And then we have kind of a couple questions in one. What credit score is required for the 3% down payment? And then also, does Launch do construction loans or a lot loan that can be turned into a construction loan?
Okay, so credit scores for the minimum of the 3% down. So for first-time home buyers with the minimum of 3% down, we like to see a credit score of above 680. You may qualify for a loan if you're under 680. However, you might be required to put a larger down payment down on the property. So 680 is what we look for, but you might have to put more money down if you're lower than the 680. And then you're talking about the construction loans. We do not offer construction loans right now. It is in our horizon. We're trying to get there where we can offer construction loans. Hopefully it will be soon, but right now we do not offer construction loans.
Okay, and then we have, I'm curious to know the average price of a home in Brevard County currently.
That would be Barbara and Lee.
That would Lee.
Hey guys, yeah. So right now it's about 320. It just all depends on what part of Brevard County, and it's been a 16% raise from last year. So prices are not going down. Rates could go up. That's something you should always keep an eye on because people think, well, you know, the prices might go down here in a little bit. Which we're not seeing that, but let's just say they go down just a hair, right? Well, that means rates will most likely go up. So therefore, it's actually going to cost you definitely the same, if not more, most likely. What's going to cost $1 today will be $1.10 tomorrow. But it also, again, it depends what part of Brevard County. There's more opportunity in other areas like Port St. John, for example. Right now, it's very, very tight. Palm Bay, it's tight, but there's a lot of opportunity. There's land there too. So. Yeah, but yeah, please, guys, this is your opportunity to open floor, especially with Barbara, a veteran in this business, and with the HomeAdvantage program. We can answer any questions. And just a reminder, our services are completely free. Think of it as a free educational resource for you, and we're paying you to work for you because you get 20% back of what we make through the HomeAdvantage program. So you know that you've got the right people around you. So take this time in this forum to ask these questions. And if you're not comfortable right now and you have questions after the fact, you can always get in touch with us personally and we'll have a nice one-on-one with you and answer all your questions.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lee, I want to jump in on that. I actually used a HomeAdvantage agent for selling my house and for the purchase of my new house. And between the two, I got back over $7,000.
Oh,
So
wow, very nice.
I definitely support this HomeAdvantage. And again, it was absolutely free for me and I got money back.
Awesome.
It is a great program, and you do get seasoned agents, and I cannot express how important it is to have a trained agent in this fast-paced market to have your back while you are out trying to find the right home. A new agent, they are wonderful also, but having somebody who has been through this market before, or similar markets, or who have longevity in this market, is going to also just know what to do and know how to answer these questions. And timing is everything when you're trying to purchase a house in a seller's market.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the one thing I tell everyone, guys, is, and by the way, if you would like me to answer any questions with the Bobby hat or the red top hat, I'm really happy for you guys. What I can tell you is the real estate gods don't get it wrong. And as cheesy or as cliche as sometimes it is, as I say this, and I say it all the time, is the real estate gods will not get it wrong. You will wind up with the home that you were meant to have. You might see this beautiful home, we might put in an offer, and we might not get it. You might be all bummed. That's okay. It just means there's a better home that's out there. And how do I know this? Because I've done it over 500 times, as has Barbara. You'll text us 2 months later when your legs are up sitting in the backyard with your family and saying, man, what an awesome place that we have. And Lee was right. The real estate gods got it right.
And one other thing too, expect to be in a competition with other offers.
Oh, yeah.
Expect multiple offers. We are in a market right now where multiple offers are almost on every house, especially if you are in the 200 to 350 price bracket. You are going to experience multiple offers. So we can't stress how important it is to get with Launch and have that pre-approval letter ready. That is your very first step before you even meet with us, is to get with your loan officer or walk into that branch, tell them you want to apply for a mortgage and get set up in the system so we can get started for you. Because like I said, between you, your realtor, and Launch, it is a trifecta, and we will find you the right home.
Completely concur. That is what we do, guys. We win deals for people, and but most importantly, we answer the questions that you have. And understand, this is your choice. This is your decision. The beauty about this program is we are so vetted to get into this program and to remain in it that we want the best for the member first. The member first here. And then we'll worry about getting you a home, right? So we want to, it's always going to be your decision. We're always going to allow you to drive the ship. We're just going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, but we're going to be honest on what's happening in the market, and you just take our advice or not. And we just see where the real estate gods take us.
Another thing I want to add, there is a lot of new construction out there. Make sure you use your realtor when you go into new construction. Launch does do those loans too. So it is important that if you are walking into a builder, that you have us with you, or you have our business card with you. And in most cases, we can negotiate on your behalf, and you still can use Launch for a loan. We have been very successful with a lot of builders doing this. Lee?
Yeah, I was going to say, great point, because here's the thing, guys. Two things. One, with the new builds, right now we're seeing, just for the record, the best value is in resale. And I'm a guy that I built my career on new builds, right? But resale is the way to go, and a few reasons. One, it's taken almost a year to build. Two, you cannot lock in your interest rate right now. So whatever the rate is when you're about to close in a year from now, that will be the rate. Number three, the builders, well, they're taking forever, but also can be cutting corners at time. When we see some of these inspection reports, some of the things that are in there will blow your mind. That's another thing. Always make sure that you get an inspection with new construction. The new construction folks, they don't work for you. They work for the builder. They're going to do whatever they can to get you to not use an inspector or a realtor, because they keep that realtor commission as profit, which we are sharing with you. No matter what, talk to a realtor, whether it's us or anybody, before you go to new construction. Make sure you are registered. Make sure you're registered, because these are at times like used car sales lots. They really are. So buyer beware for sure. And just have a professional with you at all times. It's all about communication. If one day you want to go out looking at new construction, cool, awesome. Let us know. We'll set up appointments for you, especially with COVID now, which obviously we're at where we're at. But with COVID from before to now, everything is by appointment for the most part versus just walking in.
Exactly. Tiffany, do you want to talk about doing a loan for like new construction? Because a lot of buyers aren't aware that when you are buying new construction, you are paying both sides of the closing costs. You are paying the buying side. You are also paying the selling side.
So yes, with construction loans, usually if you get a house built, so right now we can do the end loan where you purchase it at the end. So after the house is built and you have a certificate of occupancy and everything done like that, we can do the end loan. Usually the builder does not pay for the normal stuff that the seller usually pays for. So like the owner's title insurance, the deed doc stamps, things like that. Usually you as the buyer pays for those closing costs. So it can be a little more expensive with new construction. Mm-hmm.
But the rebate from Lee and myself does help offset that.
Yep. And here's the other thing too, and I'm sorry if you might have just said this or not. It broke up for half a second. The builder will try to incentivize you, which by the way, the incentives have gone from here to down here by using their lender. Okay. Cool. See what they can offer you, then go back to launch, because odds are it's going to be higher and you're going to get better over here. There's no intangible tax over here and probably a better rate. You're also a member versus over here. So just remember, nothing in life, especially in real estate, is free ever. So if they say they're giving you this, well, you got to look out for over here as well.
Another thing that a builder may do, and Tiffany can pipe up on this one too, is some builders will try to push you into an FHA loan. Know that when you're doing an FHA loan, PMI is on for the life of the loan. Am I correct, Tiffany?
Yes, so FHA, we don't offer FHA, so we just do conventional, but yes, so FHA is the life of the loan. So if you have your loan for 30 years, you're paying private mortgage insurance for 30 years. Conventional loan, once you hit, the 20% mark, you have 20% equity in the house, then it will drop. So then you're not paying the private mortgage insurance monthly anymore.
So in my opinion, and I'm not a lender, but in my opinion, always staying with your credit union's conventional mortgage is going to be the better avenue than going FHA and having the PMI and the upfront PMI cost. Not just that monthly fee, you also have that upfront PMI cost. So that is charged up front and again, on for the life of the loan.
Mm-hmm.
If I could just interrupt for 1 second, we've actually received quite a few questions coming in.
Sure.
So we have a couple quick ones, and then we have a couple more in-depth ones that we may send along after. One is just, how long is your pre-approval letter good for?
It's good for 90 days. So after the 90 days, then we would just, if you want to get another 90 days, we would just pull your credit again and then issue another 90 days. So it's good for 90 days.
This is probably one for Barbara and Lee. I've heard of people paying amounts above the asking price. Can someone make an offer and purchase higher than the assessed value of the home being sold?
So let me jump in real quick, Barbara, and then jump in after me. So here's what's happening, guys. Let's say we have a home that's $300,000, right? That's the list price. First day on the market, we know that there's a lot of people looking at it. Odds are it's going above list price, okay? It's going to go probably 320, 325. So the way that we put the offer together is hopefully that your pre-approval is for 330, not 300, right? We put that offer together and we put an appraisal. Obviously, there's appraisal contingency, but we put an appraisal variance, and we'll say, hey, listen, we know we're coming 30,000 above. Hopefully there's no cash buyers out there, which right now we're not seeing a huge amount, thankfully. So that appraisal variance would be as if the home appraises for less than 330, we'll pay up to X. And usually that's 10,000 on contracts. Some people are putting 20 and higher price points, but we're not recommending it. This is where cash in hand comes into play. You need money for your down payment, roughly at least 3%. You need money for your closing costs, roughly 3%. 500 for roughly for inspection and roughly for appraisal. So those are the numbers that you'll need, but then you'll need up to 10,000 above appraisal. So again, to make it easier, so if we're at 330, we say we'll give you 330 with a $10,000 appraisal variance for the appraisal if it comes in below. So if it comes in at 330, you're paying 330 through your loan, no extra money out of pocket. If it comes in at 320, you're paying 10 grand out of pocket. If it comes in at 325, you're paying 5 grand out of pocket. If it comes in at 310, you're paying 10 grand out of pocket to 320. So this is how, in many cases, we have to win deals right now. So yes, many of these homes are going for above list and for above appraised value because people are moving from all over and they're willing to do it. So if you need cash in hand in the bank in most cases, but not every case. I don't want to scare you. Not every case is like that, but a big amount of them are. Barbara.
Another avenue that could be helpful with that is called an escalation clause. And that is something we will discuss when we sit down, but that is an escalation to go maybe 1,000 or 5,000 above the highest offer, not to exceed a certain dollar figure. So do we have any other questions?
We have, what is the typical down payment needed when purchasing?
Tiffany.
So it all depends on, so we can go as low as 3% down. You can put as much as you want down. So it's whatever you're looking to put down and what your loan amount, what you want your loan amount is. But we can go as low as 3%. That's for primary residences. So it all depends on what you're looking for. So anything less than 20%, you are paying private mortgage insurance. So if you want to avoid private mortgage insurance, put more than 20% down.
Okay, and then we have, what if the house that I want is more than my buying power?
Well, if the house is, if you have a pre-approval letter and it's for $250,000 and the house is $260,000, it's kind of hard because the seller is going to want, in this market, asking price. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't put in an offer and try. There are other avenues and other ways to put the contract together to maybe help that seller accomplish what he wants and help the buyer accomplish the goal in buying that house. So it just depends on how we structure that contract. Lee, you have anything?
Yeah, I would say if you're up to 250, I would not look at homes that are 260 in today's environment. Any home that is sub 300 is going to get a lot of offers, in my opinion, right away. Now, if the home's been sitting on the market, then that's another story. And if it's sitting, there's a reason why it's sitting, but that might be a reason that's not terrible for you. So if you're max 250, I would look at properties that are max 250. Where we're not, if this was a year and a half ago, we could do that where we could go and get. So was Barbara, the king and queen of negotiating and getting properties for 20 or 30 grand below list price, and it's just not happening because it's a supply and demand situation. The real scenario where you need us is when things go awry, when things go bad. Inspection issues, appraisal issues, polybutylene pipes. Gosh, who knows the issues and the pitfalls that we could face. That's why you have us and why you want us. We're going to go and win you the contract based on the rules of engagement in the market right now and what the market is looking like. We're going to get it, but you got to be prepared to possibly pay a little bit over, or if it's been on the market for 3 or 4 weeks, there's a reason for it. And maybe you're okay with putting in carpet and paint, and maybe the house needs a new roof or whatever. But each buyer, and more importantly, each property has a totally different story, and it's going to change. You turn the page every day, it's going to be a different story on each house. And so it's one of those things, you guys, you can't let it overwhelm you. We got to take it step by step, day by day, peel back the layers of the onion, and put your trust in the professionals that are around you. And you've got one of the best if you're in Volusia with Barbara Remington in the entire market, and with everyone here at launch.
And let's talk about briefly some of the timelines that you are going to encounter in the first 2 weeks of a contract. Once your buyer and seller agree to that contract, your very first timeline is your escrow. That deposit is your earnest money deposit. And that is typically, in some cases, 1%, maybe even more of the contract price. And that is a good faith deposit to take that house off the market. That's showing good faith that you're willing to purchase this home. Your second timeline is going to be 5 days, where you will need to get all your documentation to launch so they can go ahead and start their process. And then your third most important timeline is your inspection period. Some of those are 5-day inspection periods, some are 7, some are 10. And I haven't seen very many 15 recently. I don't know if Lee has, but I have not. Usually it's 5, 7, or 10. And those days
a lot of 7, mostly 7.
Yeah, are when you really need to get all your inspections done, whether it's a well inspection, septic inspection, general inspection, termite inspection, a pool inspection if you're looking at pool homes. So there's a lot of things that play into a very successful contract that Lee and I and launch, we do everything in our powers to make sure that you stay within the timelines of the contract.
Okay, and we have, how does it work if you are selling your home and you are wanting to use the money from the sale towards your down payment? And this is going to be a question for Tiffany.
I was going to say, those are domino closings.
Yeah, let Tiffany answer on that, but I will say one thing. So in where are you going to go, right, guys? So if you're going to sell your home, and by the way, the HomeAdvantage program works on both sides of the ball. You'll get that discount on both sides, buying and selling. So where are you going to go, right? So we got to get you a home. How do you buy a home if you need the money from this home for that home? Which means you need to sell your home and list it first, and you have Barbara or I negotiate a rent back for you to stay in that home. And right now, in most cases, we're getting it for free, where you're not even have to pay. Sometimes you got to pay, but most of them you're not. So you get a rent back. You close on your home, you rent back for about 45 to 60 days. You're now a very strong buyer, cash in hand, pre-approval from launch in hand, and boom, we can go and get you that home, because no one is accepting contingency deals right now. So on the real estate side, on the realtor side, that's what we would do first. List that home, close that home, rent back, search, get a contract. Tiffany?
Yeah, no, you said that perfect. Unless, you don't rent a house, what you would have to do is you would have to sell your house and purchase a house on the same day. That is, that's a lot to deal with, trying to close on a home on one day, take those proceeds, get it over to the title company. But like Lee was saying, that a lot of times sellers aren't.
Yeah, that's easy. That's not the hard thing, guys. If you had a simultaneous closing on the same day or the staggering on the next day, the problem here is getting that second home under contract before this home closes. That's where you're going to have the problem. It's just like if you're listing your home, are you going to take a contract from someone who their home has to close? No way, because we have no control over that. So that's why you'd have to close first, and that would make you a much stronger purchaser. Barbara, do you concur?
I agree. I mean, we do a lot of domino closings, and that's what we call them, because one bounces into another. And finding the home first in this market is extremely important, because selling your home is going to move fast if your home is in move-in condition. If it needs a new roof, it may take a little bit more time. If it needs work, it may take a little bit more time. But if your home is in move-in condition, I would say, let's start looking for a home, and then put your home on the market immediately once we find one.
We have another question. I want to get an investment home but have limited income. I can't take any equity out on my home because I did the first time home buyer program. Any advice?
That's a tough one, especially if you don't have any equity or any money to put down, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiffany, investment properties have higher interest rates.
Yes, investment properties have higher interest rates and you have to put more money down. And your debt, you have to look at your debt to income. And so if you don't have a lot of income coming in, you know, the debt to income might be too high. They call it DTI, might be too high.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, call us. We can look over your situation. So absolutely give us a call and we can discuss it further and see if there's any options out there for you. Mm-hmm.
I have another question. Do you give loans on foreclosed homes?
So if it's bank owned, we could still do if it's a normal closing, but we don't do like auctions or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's just for the record, guys, what we're seeing on the market, we're not seeing a lot of foreclosed homes. We're not seeing a lot of short sales, even though I just successfully did my first short sale in years. Years ago, I did so many of them, but we're really not seeing a lot. But if it was just a regular foreclosed home that's a REO bank-owned home on the market, it's just a traditional sale, and they can do that. Yes.
In this market, if a kitchen or bath needs an update, is it still beneficial to make those improvements before selling, or are people wanting to remodel and buy as is instead?
Do no work. Barbara and I might disagree. We might agree. I say do no work and spend no money right now.
It depends on what the work is. I have to disagree with that, because a buyer will look into, for every dollar that you could probably save doing it, a buyer will walk in the home and say, if it's going to cost the seller to $500 to paint 2 bedrooms, the buyer may come in and say, oh, that's going to cost me $1,500 to paint. So my philosophy is, if it's going to spend a little bit of money to make double what you could, then I would recommend you do it. If your carpet is in rough shape, I recommend you replace it. Home Depot has so many affordable apartment grade carpets that you can put in for very reasonable, which the impact on the return is going to be significant. As for remodeling a bathroom, it just depends on what you have. If it's 1970s harvest gold and avocado green, I'm probably gonna say yes, go ahead and do some minor stuff, but we can always take that road once we see the house.
And remember when I say, guys, every buyer or every home, every deal is different. It really is. And you could have 10 homes and put us each in, and we'll probably agree on 7, and maybe on 3 of them we won't agree. And I agree with all of that stuff. The only thing for me when I list my homes is the market is so hot that I'm getting people to pay above anyways. So it's like, we'll deal with it after in the inspection if we have to. That it just depends where the home is. If I know it's in an area where things are going so fast, people will buy it. If it's an area where it might take a little bit longer, like for example, I have a home right now that's listed on the lake, Lake Apopka. Actually, I list all over Florida, and it's the home is a tear down or a complete overhaul. I think it's a tear down. It's slightly overpriced, but it's one of those things. It's in the eye of the beholder. My folks are like, should we put down new flooring or do this? I'm thinking to myself, this home is a tear down. No, do nothing. So it just all depends. You know, if anything, put mulch out front. You'll be surprised how far mulch will go for a home.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead, Barbara. Yep.
I was going to say, every house is different.
Yeah, and I know we've had a few questions just about credit scores and having low credit scores. So we did have someone ask if Launch offers any type of credit repair services.
We don't actually have an actual service like that, but anytime we always try to tell our members, if we can't get them qualified, we sit down and we go through their credit reports with them to try to guide them on what they should do or a lot of times people don't understand about down payment. So we try to do that. And that's why we say we like to pair them up with an actual agent, because then they can also help them, you know, educate them of what they need to do. Like Lee was kind of saying at the beginning, it might just not be your time to purchase the house right now, but let us, between the lender and the realtor, help educate you. So maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line, you are prepared and ready to go.
And then we had someone ask, if I have a homestead exemption now and I buy a different house in the same or different county in Florida, will I get the homestead exemption benefit again?
Tiffany, I think you're on mute.
So I was going to ask Barbara and Lee if they know about going to different counties, if it's portable or not.
It depends on, in most cases, it's portable. In the state of Florida, you can just take your homestead with you as long as you're within the state of Florida. As for other states, if you're moving out of state, I would not know. And I think, Jen, you just moved, so you took your homestead from one house to another, correct?
Yes.
And how easy was it to do that?
Very easy. Like I said, I didn't have to think about much. So like I said, I had a good lender and I had a good realtor who walked me through everything, because I hadn't bought a house for like 15 years before that. So it was almost at, you know, starting from the beginning again, and things change.
Right, right. But it was easy to move your homestead. Good. Is there any more questions?
Yeah, that looks like most of our questions.
Awesome.
Wow. And we
That was
stayed
awesome.
within the hour.
Yeah, that was great. There was a lot of questions, and thank you guys. That was amazing. A lot of information, and to be able to answer everybody's questions, that was great. And if we didn't get to anybody's questions, we will pull all the questions and make sure if anybody's questions didn't get answered, we'll be sure to reach out to you. So I do want to thank all of the presenters. You guys were amazing tonight. And I also want to thank all of you for joining us this evening. We will be holding additional webinars in the future, so please stay tuned to our calendar on our website. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on social media, as we'll keep you posted there as well. There will be a brief survey when we close out here this evening. And if you could take a few moments to submit your feedback, we would greatly appreciate it, as we do look at those responses for ways to improve. So you'll be receiving a recording of this webinar, and we want to thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great night.
Awesome. Good
Thank
night, guys.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Go ahead and get pre-approved, and let's just see where we stand and take it from there.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.